Well, my name's Chris Marshall. I'm 44 years old. I'm a father of three, and basically I'm a power lifter, but I'm homeless. My day schedule kind of starts off pretty the same every day. I get up in the morning, I have to roll up my bed. I put away my sleeping stuff. I make sure I pick everything up just in case I forget anything, because obviously I'm on the move all day. I mean, I'm not getting young, man. I've got arthritis, severe degenerative arthritis in all my joints, so this isn't the ideal situation for someone with my condition. So I'm kind of getting used to it. I mean, when I started sleeping out, I was outside in the park. I was kind enough to donate this bed, so I've had that for the last couple of weeks, but it's got like I had to tape it because it was old and rotten, so it tore down the middle. So loads of fun. My least favourite part of the day is waking up first thing in the morning in the bus station. Sometimes you can get a whole 8 hours sleep if you're lucky. Other nights you'll be lucky if you can get 4 or 5 hours sleep. People start turning up throughout the night. They obviously have jobs to do. You have street cleaners, you have people to change bins, you have people to open up, various shops and go in and start putting out the stock. And then you've got buses arriving. Before you know it, you've got 50, 100 people walking through there. So the next thing you're trying to do is make sure you're awake, you're not drifting off to sleep, you're not oversleeping, you're not staying there too long. It's not exactly what everyone grows up wanting to do with their life, is it? I certainly had better dreams. I go literally to the local coffee shop, give myself a cup of tea or whatever, depending on whether I've got money. Obviously, the best thing about being homeless is you can never guarantee to have money. I sit there and have a cup of tea, and then I literally just relax for a few minutes and sort of watch the world, I suppose. The weirdest thing you don't seem to understand, it's kind of a lull for a while when you first start being homeless. You feel like you should be running around everywhere. You feel like you're not doing enough, you feel like you're not actually achieving anything every day. But then, before you realise it, just getting up, trying to find something to eat, trying to do, the basic thing like grab a cup of tea and have a sandwich, actually can take up most of the day. After I've done that, I then literally see if I need to get washing done or anything like that. Then it's a case of eating food. Most of my food I literally get from places like Greg's, or I buy sandwiches from whatever shop, meal deals, food bank as well. But I try not to go to food bank too often, because obviously it's all right when you've got somewhere like temporary accommodation or emergency housing, but if you're living on the street, you have to carry things. So a bag full of tins might not be very much to carry, but if you're carrying it around for the better part of 15, 20 hours, it suddenly becomes like 100 kilos to lift. So I go to the gym, the train, so that way I make sure my mental health stays well, because obviously it's the biggest thing for me is mental health living on the street. Literally, I pay for my gym membership originally by myself, but recently a friend of mine, a young lady called Caitlin, who lives in Eastleigh, entered the competition with the idea of me and Hinkley actually in mind. And believe it or not, she won it, so I now have a free gym membership for the next year, anytime. So yeah, it's been a real bonus, because not only get loads of protein and stuff like that, all stuff I can help to train with, it means that I should be gaining weight a bit more and actually be able to compete a little bit better. We're doing this for 30 odd years powerlifting, and it's a lonely sport.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, you're the one lifting it. So you can have everyone around you, but it doesn't help.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of made it easier being on the street.
Really?
Yeah. I've spent so many years training by myself. It was always when I was young, it was an escape. It was how for me to hide away from whatever was happening in my life and the world, and just really not focus on any problems outside. It's my way to look at the world and say, well, yeah, fine. Well, outside it's raining. I've got this bill to pay, that bill to pay. Mum's not happy with me, but I can train.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always done. I've been training for the World Championship since I was a kid. In '97 I was offered a chance to go to Graz to compete in the European Championships, but I was at college, so I didn't really think about it. It's amateur sport, you have to fund yourself. In 1998 I was offered a chance to go to the World Championships in Blackpool. Again, money, I had an injury in my knee at some point. It was only a minor injury, but I thought I'd leave it. Did my last competition in 1990, I think it was 98-ish, and then retired from competitive powerlifting, but carried on lifting with the idea to go back when I was 40. Instead I went back when I was 41, walked straight into a competition, broke 4 British records, became the strongest lifter of all time in my age group, and qualified for the British, the Europeans and the World Championships. The Thursday after the competition, COVID hit. So obviously there was no World Championships, there was no flights to America where the World Championships was. I then injured my back in 2021, damaged my back severely, so then the plan was to get back to powerlifting whilst being homeless. I did 2 weeks of training, qualified for the British Championships, the European Championships, missed out on the World Championship qualification by 5 kilos, but after 2 weeks it didn't matter. So the plan now is to get back into the games. I want to compete this year, qualify, get to the powerlifting games, qualify for next year's World Championship. The first day I went back to compete happens to be the 1st of March 2020, which was my wedding anniversary. So literally, if I didn't lift that day and break the records, you know, the wife might have been a bit angry because we spent the day at a competition, you know, so they all mean something. This arm's all about what I had, and this arm's supposed to be about me, so between the two somewhere, I guess I'm in the middle, balanced enough to survive on the street at the moment. My favourite part of the day used to be the gym, obviously, when I had somewhere to live. Nowadays it's getting a shower, believe it or not. You have no idea when you're living outside and you're literally, even in the gym, you're surrounded by people all day, every day. It's lovely if you're a social person, and I am. But the fact of the matter is, every now and then you really need that little bit of solitary time. So believe it or not, I'll spend 10-15 minutes in a shower quite happily by myself, knowing that, you know, it's peace and quiet. To stay clean every day, basically you have to do a mixture of things. To be honest with you, for me, staying clean involves going to the loos in the morning, cleaning my teeth, in the public loos having a shave if required. The rest of the time it's a case of making sure your clothes stay clean and dry, because obviously the last thing I'll be walking around in wet clothes. As ridiculous as it sounds, my aspirations are, you know, spending longer than a week in a hotel or something, or getting literally somewhere to live. Obviously I'm trying to build a business. My business is myself. But on top of that, what I've got is other facets: supplementation, sponsorship, so I can sell supplements. I have my own clothing brand. I have my own social media channels which go along with it. And I also do online training. So the idea is to put it all through in a package of a website with the ability to order clothing, merchandise, all the rest of it. At the same time, supplementation and advice, and just general, basically a blog, you know, a daily update of myself, standard update of me competing, and just following along with the story at the same time. These are all difficult things to do when you're living on the floor. I'm doing my best. I'm attending the gym. I'm still attending all my appointments and paying my bills, but, you know, I want to have my own place again. I want the truth to come out about what's going on in my life. And, you know, I want to see my children as well. I want my children to see me succeed. I want to be able to afford them the sort of life they should have through getting myself off the streets and, you know, being able to do what I'm qualified to do, which is not lie on a bus floor. Instead, it's get off my backside and be a world-class athlete, a coach, and, you know, a father still. And then I try and get to my doorway hoping that no one else has grabbed it, hoping that anything I've left there might still be there. And then I literally try and eat food and figure out how to get my water bottles filled so I don't freeze at night. That's currently at the moment, because obviously it's winter time. I don't know how it's going to be in the summer, because I'm hoping not to be on the streets still, but, you know, I don't know. Basically, I ended up being homeless. It's kind of a very, very different sort of scenario, but there was issues. My family was harassed. I proved the harassment categorically, but unfortunately certain people decided to say it wasn't real and accused me of mental health. I read the mental health evaluation, but because of this, my wife was prompted to have me removed from our property under something that the Crown Prosecution Service didn't actually agree with, didn't press any charge against me, but then illegally went for basically occupancy of my home, etc., and tried to put an order in to keep me away from my children. We went to 2 family court hearings and she didn't win any of them. The judge was disgusted with the way she behaved, what she put, and basically said he wouldn't sign any orders, but did promise to sign an order to get me housed. That was March 2023. Here I am, 2024, sleeping on a bus station in Eastleigh, and nothing's happened. So once again, it's a falling of the system. The government haven't helped very well, to be fair. They go out of their way to actually try and make you do all these stupid things. The other day I had an appointment. I was told I had various commitments I had to keep up. I should be doing this, about 15, 20 different things. Filling out this, adding that. I Went back to another appointment. They said, you don't actually need to be doing any of this, Chris. All your commitments are switched off because you live outside, you're sleeping rough. But what I have managed to do, because I started it before I ended up on the street, is work with the Restart campaign, and that's enabled me to build various things along with my business, etc., the rest of it. You know, apparently if you're homeless, you have tattoos, you're a former criminal. There's a lot of misconception you're homeless, you obviously deal drugs, or that you literally have some sort of criminal record that means you're on the run and have no right to be anything at all, because obviously you're not educated, you have mental health, and literally you are just not worth helping out in any way, shape or form, which is the biggest thing I've encountered. People speak to me for 5 minutes, realise I'm not a criminal, I am educated, and I'm sick and tired of being looked down as if I've done this to myself. The community in Eastleigh have been amazing. They've been really accepting and understanding. They've done nothing but help me out in ways I couldn't even have imagined. I couldn't have fathomed it was going to work this way. People literally come up, they put money in my hand, they put food in my hand, they bring me hot water bottles. I've woken up with food around me, I wake up with money next to me, I wake up with literally everything. It's part of a family. These people have offered to sign bits of paperwork to get me housed. They want me as part of the community. They support me 100%, and I don't even know half these people. I've spoken to them for 2 months, if not a bit longer, and they treat me as if I've known them for 20 years. It's amazing. It's one of the nicest and most community-spirited places I've ever been in my life. Being homeless isn't a lifestyle choice. None of us want to be homeless. None of us enjoy being homeless. We're not doing it because we want to stand out or be special, or we want to be helped more than anyone else. What we most of the time want is just somewhere to sleep with a roof over it and being treated with the same respect that we treat you. You'll find a lot of the time people are actually ruder about homeless people than homeless people are ruder about ordinary people who live in homes. You know, it's unfair stigma. You know, we're human beings just the same as you. What is it like being on the streets? It's cold, it's boring, and it feels personally like I'm never doing enough in a day,
Yeah.
to be fair.